There I am minding my business on Instagram, in the streets of the gram. And then I see how this person that is not my friend, liked a photo of mine. And then I was like, okay, whatever. I left it alone.
But you liked it back.
Did I like the photo?
I think we need to put it on record. You liked it back.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll get there. Then after that, you did follow me. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, this is interesting. Let me see what's going on. Then I went to his profile and I was like, okay, there seems to be something there. And then then I followed him back. And then now I see he starts liking all my photos.
Oh,
yes.
Can we correct that?
Then,
like all the photos.
Then he did the most stalkerish thing ever. A photo that was 52 weeks old.
52? Was it 52?
Yep, it was. And him and I had a conversation on the post for about a week, I think.
Yeah.
And then I would always get excited for him to reply.
What was I telling you on this post?
Just about how pretty I am. Normal stuff. But in any case, so you eventually got my number, which was on a Monday. And at the time, I was doing my internship, and I remember you called round about 12 o'clock, and my phone rang.
Waste time.
No.
Waste time.
My phone rang, and I was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, I think it's him. And after that, because I was freaking out so much, then the phone stopped ringing, and I was like, oh man. So in any case, he called again, and this time I didn't waste any time. I immediately picked up. He said some cheesy line, and I wrote out
cheesy.
Yes.
Maybe classy or romantic. I think we can go with that.
Yeah, and then I immediately brought out my crazy laughter, and we have not stopped chatting since.
You ignored me. I think you ignored me. I said I love you. After 2 weeks of talking over the phone and chatting, you ignored that, but it didn't hurt me. It didn't affect me as much because I knew that this person is going to be my wife one day. So I just brushed it off. I'm like, it's cool, it's fine.
Let me give it time.
Let me give it time to adjust.
Yeah. How I said yes to him was that when there was a Wednesday morning that I had to wake up very early to write reports because I was doing my internship at the time. And when I woke up, I realized that I left my laptop charger at work, and I was again freaking out because I needed to finish the report. And luckily he was up at the time, so I tell him that, listen, I'm a bit stressed out, this is what's going on. And he said to me, let me pray for you. And there I'm just like, Jesus, this is your son. And he prayed for me, and I don't know what you said to the Lord that day, but
hey, man.
It was the most amazing Wednesday I ever had. I just was walking on sunshine the whole day. All the robots were open. I got to it was just working out for me. So I was very happy about that. And then so again, I kept praying to the Lord and asking, Lord, is this the one? What is supposed to happen now? And every time I asked, all I got were confirmations. And I had to sort of get out of my brain and out of myself because
and you still hadn't met me?
No, I still hadn't met you at the time because I know the things of the Lord don't make sense, to the natural mind. So I just thought, let me give it a try. Mm-hmm. And then you asked me out after that, and I said no because I was still trying to figure out what's going on. We had gone out with a few friends of mine, and when we went out, there was a guy that hit on me, and I was like, no, I have a boyfriend. So when I got home, I told him that this is what happened, and then he's like, oh, you have a boyfriend? I don't know about this. And I'm like, well, if you ask me again, this time I'll say yes. And he asked me out, and I said yes. And then 2 weeks later, he said, I love you. Whoa.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, brother. So we officially met in April, I think a day before your birthday, on the 2nd of April.
It was on my birthday.
It was on your birthday, yes, on the 2nd of April. So now here's this guy, and we're dating, but I still haven't met it. Yeah.
On my birthday, I traveled to come see you. It must be special.
So then I still hadn't met him, but obviously we had video called and spoken on the phone and photos and stuff. Then he comes on my birthday and on your birthday. And then after that we went to church because I have rehearsals on Thursday. So he's like, no, I'll come with you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he comes to church with me, and rehearsals is 2 hours long.
No, but you had a plan for that day.
I don't know if you can say that.
No, you had.
What was my plan?
You planned on kissing me for the first time at 8 o'clock.
Yes. So my plan was, because I'm a planner, you know, so I was like, he's gonna arrive at 3, and then we're gonna have like a birthday lunch, and then after that we're gonna go to church, and then at 8 o'clock, you know, just before the day ends, then he will get his birthday
like a
kiss.
smooch.
You know, birthday kiss.
What happened to your plan?
Wow, what happened was the Lord was like, no, let me not blame the Lord. It was just, guys, it was too much. There was just too much chemistry, and so we ended up kissing even before we got to church. And then he came with me to church, sat there, waited for me for 2 hours, and I was like, this is a solid guy. And all my friends at church were like, who's this guy who's there in a cap looking all swaggered out? And then after that so that is actually when we met. And after that we did long distance for about 1 year and 6 months, right? So he would come to Pretoria and I would go to Polokwane. But it was a lot because every Sunday when we had to say goodbye to each other, it was
very hard.
Yeah, and I'm a bit of a crier, so I think he got tired of me saying, I'm sad and I miss you. So that is how we met, and we dated for 1 year and 6 months, long distance, and I think June of 2016. Maybe?
Yeah, that's when I moved to
June of
Pretoria.
2016. We had prayer, we had worship and prayer night, and then we were like, Jesus, no, this is not working for us. You know, we see each other together forever, so please make a way. And we prayed and we worshiped, and it was a beautiful moment. And then we heard, I think a few days, weeks after that he had an interview in Victoria, and I was like, Lord, you're putting everything together. And he moved in June of 2016, and then we dated, and then in December he met my family, so he went home with me to Kuruman. He met my family.
I got there, the mom was very warm and welcoming, so I actually sat outside with her. She was very nice, but she asked me a couple of questions that were like very serious, but I was able to answer her, and she appreciated that. But later that evening, I had to meet the dad. He was coming back from work.
Because you're the only guy that ever brought home.
Yeah, I think that's why they were like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So the dad came later that evening. We sat outside. We spoke for like 3 to 4 hours outside. And it was a bit intense, but very fruitful. He's an amazing man. At the end of that conversation, mind you, I was meeting him for the first time. At the end of that conversation, he was like, I want you to be my son. I'm like, I was without words, and he shed a tear. And then he's like, this is what he said to me. He looked me in my eyes. He looked me in my eyes and said, with this tear, it symbolizes the relationship that I want you and I to have. I want you to be my son, and I want to be the father that you never had. He actually said that, and I was so shook. And I started getting teary, and it was a bit weird, you know, first time meeting him, but yeah, it was amazing.
But funny about that story is that when he was home, he had like long sleeve shirts and stuff because he was trying to hide his tattoos. You know, he didn't want to come there to meet my family, and they might think my parents are pretty old school.
So yeah.
So there was one time where they had to slaughter a sheep, and he had on his long pants and long sleeve shirt. It was so funny. In any case, that was December, and in January when I came back, he proposed, and I was just like, "This."
Where did I propose?
My favorite place in the whole world.
I actually asked her before that. I'm like, where would you like me to propose, and who would you like to be there? And she was like, what's my favorite place? And then you concluded that church is your favorite place, and these are the few people that mean a lot to you. So the people who didn't go to our church, I had to arrange that they come there and be present for that moment. And it was a weird proposal because I pretended to be injured at church, and so she came rushing. A friend called her to say that Seta's outside, you know, he's injured. So she came rushing, all teary and stuff, and that's when I proposed, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was the most amazing proposal ever, like ever. in my favorite place with my favorite people. And yeah, to this day, I don't know how you planned it without me knowing.
You suck. You suck. Things just go past you and you don't notice them. You
Yeah.
suck. But I like you.
How I knew she was the one, after stalking her Instagram page, I'm like, this girl is pretty interesting. You know, I'd like to get her to know her. I just liked her appearance at that time, until I spoke to her over the phone. I'm like, this woman has something inside of her. I just want to have it. I want it. So I kind of knew when she spoke about God, and not the typical Christianese that people, you know, when they speak about God, like you could hear how she sounded like it was a deeper relationship that she had with the Lord. So I'm like, I want that. I want that. So yeah, then I started pursuing her fully because I knew that she had something that I needed.
But I think just to also be clear that you had a personal relationship with the Lord for, I think, a year before I got saved. Hey, yeah. And what was also very interesting for me was that for my birthday, the year before that, in December, friends of mine prayed and fasted for me to get a husband who loves the Lord, who loves me. And so when this happened in March, I was like, Jesus, you are a Lord that answers prayers. So